Welcome to Sampstra Games, the place to find new strategy games. And today we're going to talk about the top 5 strategy games of December 2019. Now, as usual, I'm going to talk to you very quickly about the game and mostly talk about what I like in the games. And if you want to know more about them, check out the Let's Plays. There'll be a link for it in the description and in the end screen. So let's start this off with number 5, Poker Quest. This is a roguelike deck builder, and what's really unique about it is the way it combines poker with regular roguelike deck builders. Essentially, in order to do like regular attack cards like you would do in normal roguelikes, you need to sort of power them up with the right cards. For example, you have a card that's only applicable if you use a straight, or a different card if you have 2 pairs, or if you have a certain number of the right color, and etc. And it's really interesting, and this is a pre-alpha, and it's actually free, so if you'd like, you can check it out right now. Number 4, War Robot Planet Defender. Now this is an amazing game. This is kind of like an RTS, but you can build your own robots, and you have this huge thing that you can sort of upgrade and control in the sort of RTS part of the game, where you move from your base to the enemy base and destroy them. And it's really fun the way you sort of assemble the robots. It's very well done. It's really exciting. And then you can kind of watch them and see how strong they are and figure out what kind of weapons do I need for the right enemy. And you fight a lot of interesting enemies. You fight other robots, you fight humans, you fight zombies, all sorts of really cool stuff. Number 3, the Sapling. Now this is an early access, and this is an evolution game where you can create your own plants and animals. And you can create however what shape you like, and then you can see if they can survive in the ecosystem provided. But what you can do there as well is you can do something called random mutation, and this is especially fun on the animals, even though it's interesting on the plants as well, where you can sort of watch your animals mutate over hundreds of years and see how they change, and that's really, really fun. So I quite like this game. Now this game is in early access, so there'll be a lot of changes there, but I really like this one already. Number 2, STATIONFlow. Now this is a game that I just started playing. I absolutely love it right now. It's a game where you build your own underground train station, and you have to sort of create connection between the different exits and the train lines, and you have a lot of different people that have different kind of preferences. For example, you have elderly people who cannot use stairs and other things, and it's a really fun game. It has a lot of progression at the moment, but it's still in very early access, so I'm quite excited to see how much more this game is going to give us over time. And before we talk about number 1, let me reveal the patron's choice, which is Future Pool. Now this is a game where you play pool on a circular table, and there's some changes in the rules where essentially, for example, you switch turns every time, which makes the game a lot harder because you can't sort of utilize the fact that if you shoot well, you can keep going. Instead, you have to turn, so you have to be able to shoot maybe 2 different balls in one turn. Otherwise, the first person who starts would always win. You can play against AI, and it's a very fun, easy pool game. And finally, number 1, Transport Fever 2. Now this is one of the best transport games out there. You essentially transport passengers from city to city, and then you transport resources, for example, from mine to different factories, and then the end product to different cities. Now what's interesting is that the games go through 3 different eras. So you start with, for example, horse carriages, and then you move on to cars, and then you can even move into the future. The game has trains, buses, airplanes, boats, all sorts of things, and it is really one of the best transport games out there. So this concludes the list of my top 5 games of December 2019, and you can click anywhere to watch some of those games. See you there. Bye bye.